ever heard a rumor about yourself and actually wanted to hear more? Like, damn, what did I do next?
What a fucking bitch, bruh. Honestly.
Oh, man. The last 72 hours have been very, very interesting. Once we always got to let people know that, this will be reported. This will be reported by Kevin James Farrar. Super butthurted. So we're gonna get on with the show. Trust me, this is fucking funny. This is hilarious. Aside from him reporting that this portion of the show, filing a privacy complaint, being a little bitch. This is what he said recently. This is crazy, right? This dude is so scared of opinions about him. When will these human turds stop projecting? Last I checked, nothing I do would be considered harassment.
I have never broken anyone's arm while cuffing them.
Have you wanted to?
This is going to sound very terrible, but then I'm going to save it. When I arrest people, or cuffed them rather, I'm very big into pain compliance.
You made me do it. You made me do it.
Box. Anywho, so this is just my 2 cents on the subject. So this is going to be a quick 10-second interview, Wrangler. Have you learned from your mistakes?
Yes.
Are you currently doing any fuck shit?
No.
Okay, there we go. All good.
I cannot stand country music, but this song has literally stuck in my head. This is just so golden. So many good people that have put out content trying to raise awareness about a stolen valor, hypocrite, career criminal. But dude, I love this song, man. I love this song. I can't get enough of it. We got to start off with this.
This is the collection. Every single thing you all see up there were contributed by you all. It was sent by the Roughnecks. Aside from the top shelf, the Braves hat, and the armament for the little stuffed animals. Aside from their arsenal, yes. But you guys all sent the arsenal. And I think, especially compared to what it looked like a week ago, I think it looks absolutely fantastic. I mean, thank you all so very, very much for what you all have helped me build.
Come and listen to my story. There ain't much time. I got a show calls hearing on 2525. You gotta believe me, I'm not guilty, even though I said I was. It was the drugs, also my grandpa was sick or something. It was the VA's fault, they sent my medicine to Canada. Then a black guy shot me in the arm. Why don't you believe me? Will all you roughnecks stick with me when I'm behind bars again? I might be in for a while this time. Come to 525. I won't admit to the stolen valor, that was just a character. And as for the murder, Whether I did it or not don't matter. JJ, kfarr, Anya, and Billy, well, they're like my family, but they're nothing compared to my hairy-nipped angel Kimmy. Will all you roughnecks stick with me? Put money on my commissary. I might be in for a while this time. Come to 525. Come to 525. It'll be over. Come to 525. I'll be gone. Come to 525. I'll be locked up and passed around like a rag doll.
I know I will never be able to throw down and individually help every single roughneck. As much as I would like to, that's just, logistically impossible.
Kaiser is a fucked up human being. Kevin Farrar is even more of a fucked up human being, but for different reasons. And people called me out. kfarr had said to me, he was one of the first people to say to me that Elon Musk was Tony Stark. I don't want to go down that fucking rabbit hole, but you can understand why I took issue with it. Okay? I love that country song though. This is fucking brilliant. The other one, I don't know where it's at. Burns played it. I don't like country music, but goddamn, you guys made it hard not to dislike that song. So one of the claims that kfarr made recently just irked the fucking shit out of me. Here it is.
What a fucking bitch, bruh. Honestly.
Oh, no. That's not it. This is it.
I have never broken anyone's arm while cuffing them.
Have you wanted to?
This is going to sound very terrible, but then I'm going to save it. When I arrest people or cuff
Kevin Farrar has never had arresting power. And this is instantly where he goes. Right here. Straight to this shit. Fuck. Let's start the fucking show!
I have a child! I have a child! Get her out of there! Please, I have a child! Please, I'm all she has in the world. Go on. Step back!
Yeah. So I agree. Using children as a weapon is bullshit. Using doxing is a weapon. And I'm going to play a video that you guys probably not even on your radar. But first, I got to get to this. My latest community tab. I got to do the promotion, do the YouTube, do the hey, check me out here, check me out there. I just recently posted it's funny that wannabe cop KFAT cries that people are stalking him when all he does is attack the same people over and over again and then calls time out when it comes back on him. Here are the facts. Kevin Farrar was never given the authority to arrest anyone. These are facts. Kevin Farrar lives in his girlfriend's mother's basement, reusing content and never transforming it. Most of the time, he stuffs his fat face and looks at his phone. Transforming it. Word people are exposing him for the fake stolen valor supporter he is. Boom. Now, it's like blaming a Tesla driver for like supporting Nazism. Tesla drivers had good intentions. But yeah, I understand why the pressure's on, right? It's very similar thing. Elon Musk is not Tony Stark. You dumb fucking bitch. So here we go, where this is something that Katie Zed and Catherine Zed and Kevin Farrar like to do is they like to weaponize dead relatives, including somebody who's been dead for 13 years for clout points. And I've got a video on that. Stay tuned. Or I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna drop the fucking bomb on you. Uh, uh, tells veterans to kill themselves. I mean, this is what we heard from Katie Zed. This. Oh, Vixter's here. Hello. Fuck yeah, Vixter. Sorry. Yeah, this is what KTZ had told Stone Vet to do.
Like, just get the rope out and get it over with. Like, just get the rope out and get it over with. Like, just get the rope out and get it over with. Like, just get the rope out and get it over with.
Like, I can't imagine telling a U.S. veteran who has struggled with PTSD, or anyone that. That's just the lowest blow. Catherine Zed, you're low life scum. Fucking low life scum.
I don't get angry often. But you mess with my wife, you mess with my kids, that'll...
Girl, fuck them kids and fuck you too. I don't want the kids.
Oh, felt that. Like, just get the rope out and get it over with.
Seriously, that's just some of the shittiest shit. Vixter, hell yeah. I don't have a purple heart. Happy fuck Eric Branty. Happy fuck Eric Branty. Every day is fuck Eric Branty. If you don't know, you should know. Happy fuck Eric Branty. So here's the video. I mean, this here, this is some shit. Go check out the tab. Everybody wants to dox each other. And I came across this streamer through hell yeah, fuck that fucking dude. How many is it? 6 more years? 6 more years? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. But yeah, that's a community post I made. I had this so much. I hate going live, man. I have like these good ideas and then things get all fucked up and tab, yeah. So this is a shameless plug right here. This is just absolutely shameless. Oh, Vegeta's Peace. She got something for me. She got some. Yeah, see, kfarr is a piece of shit. He would tell everyone he did not support Kaiser and then put him in every day. I knew it when Kimmy would email me last year, but I kept my mouth shut. I have the emails. I mean, yeah. It's obvious to everyone. It really is. It's some shady shit. They'll sell out. They don't give a fuck about the truth. They don't give a fuck about anything, right? They don't. Victor says, you definitely went through it, Bob. Glad you saw the light. Yeah, same thing, yeah, right? Yeah, no, that's not the way to go either, right? Like, it's not, like, sometimes, people, sometimes people, their intentions and their beliefs, like this bothers me because I can't get Kelly Justice back on this channel somehow because I blocked him or him, Kelly Justice, and I can't get him unblocked because I would love to hear his opinion. I really would. You know, he was somebody that came after me early on. Why are you calling out Wrangler? And I was like, I just don't like country music. I don't like country music. That was my thing. I just don't like country music. Um, plain and simple. And then I found out like all the other shit. I watched from afar. I watched Dan and I watched Fraud Reaper and I watched everybody just come up with all this shit. And I was like, man, this is nuts. This guy really is a douchebag. And I just felt vindicated. And I took a hit for saying that. Like you're anti-audit or you're anti-this or this. Let's put you in a box. I'm not in a fucking box. I don't need to do this. I'm doing this, you know, through the kindness of my heart, for other people, really, to understand how douchebaggery these people, these grifters are. Oh man, I had a tab. I had a tab. I'm no good at this. I'm really not good at this. I know now. Okay, I promised Stone Vet and Shiz I would not email, and I've kept my word. I still send him emails, but he's an asshole. Fuck him. He's so high and mighty. Fuck that Stone Vag motherfucker. I'm looking for media. And okay, so one of the things that I thought was insane recently said by kfarr, which is many, is this piece of material here.
I have never broken anyone's arm while cuffing them.
Have you wanted to?
This is going to sound very terrible, but then I'm going to save it. When I arrest people, or cuffed them rather, I'm very big into pain compliance, but not in the normal pain compliance. I'm into the nuisance pain compliance. Like, people don't like being tickled in a serious situation. They don't like my finger in their armpit. They don't like me giving them like half of a wet willy in their ear. Like, yeah, it pisses people off, but then they're like, I'm done using my hands. I'm trying to get my head away. And then by the time they realized they're cuffed and you're like, see, was it that hard? Like, so no, I've never.
Picture you tickling grown men on the floor.
Oh yeah, I started doing it during training one day because I'm like, I'm 5'10", like 210. So I'm like, I'm not the biggest guy in the world.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm not gonna be able to outmuscle.
You're fat as fuck too.
So I'm like, how can I do this so that I win every single time, no matter what?
And
then I just started tickling people or giving people.
Who gave you arresting authority?
And my coworkers were like, "What?" And then they were cuffed, and I'm just like, "That works."
Wow, you're a super cop.
Yeah, like,
whatever works.
Super
easy
cop.
enough.
Kevin Farrar.
Easy day. Nobody gets hurt. I don't have to struggle. Easy day.
Better than having to take them to the hospital.
No Shane's dumb criminals. That's where I draw the line. That's where I draw the line, bud.
Yeah. That's indicative of who he thinks he is. Stone Vet says he is proud of me. I have what does he call it? Best turnaround of 2020. Oh, it's a great arc. It's like the one we all root for BSBT, right? I can't remember the word he used though. Retribution, reclamation. I can't remember. Vixter. The Roughnecks followed me around and threatened me, told me to die, told me to push my walker into traffic and die. Called me a traitor and made comments about me being behind the dumpster. Oh yes, we're all we're all behind the dumpster. There's a lot of sock puppets out there. There's a lot of socks. I have gotten a lot of really at least there's been 7 posts doxing addresses or addresses that they think are mine recently. It's been great to just add you to the list. So I mean, no offense, vestige of peace, but like, you should have known better a lot sooner. You really should have known a lot better a lot sooner, in my opinion. And everybody that attacked me, I'm still mad about it. I'm still upset. But all I saw was a guy that's like stolen valor, pretends to be someone he's not, pretends that he's a cop, pretends that he's you know, and just all their videos are like personal griefs with people who call them out on their bullshit. And they don't even understand what a sovereign citizen is. They really don't. Sovereign citizens are like flat earthers. I feel like I have to constantly say this. They're so ingrained in their belief system. And cop watchers, I've always been critical of. Go get the shot. Establishing shot, pan shot, street light shot, street intersection shot, right? Boom. There you go, right? No need to be better than anybody else, because nobody is better. This is just bullshit by this dude. Shout out to Scotto. By the way, I'm wasting time here on this video that's gonna blow your fucking mind, and you're gonna subscribe to somebody new outside the circle, get a different point of view. He was referred by Hassan. I'm really hoping the audio comes through really good on this. This is a great video about doxing that I really want to go over. And shout out to, what's his name? Yeah, Harlan Spinks. Go give him a like. Go give him a sub. But he just absolutely fucking loves well, he doesn't love. I read the chat. I was like, what the fuck? I love Scotto. Yes, I love Scotto. Oh, beat you to the punch. Beat you to the punch, Vixter. You got competition. But this is great. This is a great video, man. I highly encourage you to sit back, listen, and let somebody else speak for a second.
This video is for all you sneaky little nosy freaks out there. The internet has brought a lot of good into the world. We're able to connect with people across the globe, learn about anything throughout all of human history, and share perspectives that broaden our understanding of one another's experiences. And also play Mortal Kombat with a friend in Vietnam.
There's no end to the possibilities!
But that interconnectedness allows isolated individuals to become shit stirrers, living vicariously through others, getting wrapped up in the tangle of other people's lives. Some people simply can't help themselves become active participants rather than passive observers. Maybe it's human nature to want to be part of something, to leave your mark that drives people's nosy obsession over gossip and drama, and also actual real-life crime. Some people take it upon themselves to get answers at all costs and investigate everything, even the innocuous, to the point their internet sleuthing causes more harm than good. Sure, you could use the internet to play Minecraft or video chat with a relative long distance, or spend hours scrolling through Wikipedia where you learn about Pep the dog who was falsely accused of murdering a cat and sentenced to life in prison. Or you could use Twitter and Reddit and TikTok to spread misinformation and pull up decades-old receipts about some random internet user who recently said something you disagreed with as proof they're human garbage whose right to life online is now forfeit. Stop it. Internet sleuthing comes in a variety of flavors, each dumber and more or less nefarious than the last. To me, there are a few subcategories of internet sleuthing. There's the harmless kind, where you mindlessly poke around someone's Facebook followers and tagged photos out of pure curiosity. There's lurking a stranger's Instagram you matched with on Tinder to make sure they're not a psycho with a second location kill room. There's even those who make content out of consensually doxing, like TikTok creator Khan, who has people challenge.
Okay, so like this is when Kevin would reuse, I'm reusing content. Please, I'm going to put the link in the description. You guys, please go subscribe to this channel. I've watched a few of his videos. He's smart enough for me. So you got to wean ourselves off of the kfarr. So this is the video that we're watching. I'll put that link up there. Definitely put that one in the rotation.
Challenge her to find out their age based on the information she can dig up on social media, all in good fun. She was able to determine this guy's birthday from a photo of his truck in a silly millennial I Can Has Cheeseburger themed game of internet guess who that raked in tens of millions of views.
You have 2 TikToks posted. Here's your dog who is sad because you forgot to buy him a cheeseburger, in which case you deserve federal prison. This is a photo you uploaded to your timeline. Look at the markings on this dog's face, because they're exactly the same as the non-cheeseburger having puppy on your TikTok.
On the flip side, you have people creating content that capitalizes on a bad take someone had that would normally be seen as a forgivable blunder. Then there are the armchair detectives who take it upon themselves to piece together missing persons cases and form clandestine subreddits for ongoing domestic terrorism investigations that leave a wake of destruction behind them. In the case of the casual, harmless sleuthing, I see it as the digital version of people watching, or peeking out the blinders of your house in a cul-de-sac to see what your new Munsters neighbors are up to in their basement. No one gets hurt, and you most likely aren't going to remember what you learned because people are actually pretty boring. However, internet sleuthing on any scale, even if it's well-intentioned, can very quickly turn into a witch hunt where very bored, lonely people dedicate a not insignificant amount of time to searching for skeletons where there probably aren't any. Or the skeletons you do find are medium dog-sized, and who doesn't have the skeleton of a 6-month-old golden retriever in their proverbial closet?
Yes, like being Canadian or VCR theft from 26 years ago when you were 6 years old. Oh, I don't have a purple heart. I don't have a purple heart. Yeah, a lot of this was gonna be like, you're such a victim, kfarr. You're such a victim. You throw out all that shit about people. You're incorrect all the time. Georgia Transparency was served his country. Angry Vet served his country. Stone Vet served his country. And you throw shit out like when you associated and got paid by Michael Kaiser, the only suspect in the murder of Donald Atwater Cameron Jr. Yeah, I'm glad you're still here, Vixter. Let me know when you gotta go to bed. This is a great video though. This is the whole point. And please subscribe. I'm trying to transform it so to his crew, to his people, his managers, have some leniency. I'm hoping in the future we can get a little more leniency when it comes to resharing content. And people could not just go straight to the fucking copyright claim, right? Like, let's have a discussion. Let's be patriots. Let's be American. Let's not dox each other. But this is exactly what the fuck we do to each other.
I know I do. Got a lot of, no, I don't have any. Don't look. There are unfortunately so many instances of people attempting to expose someone Pepe Sylvia style or encourage a mob of people to ruin their life over a difference of opinion or because they were an asshole. Some people might not like to hear this, but being a prick isn't against the law, and you're not a cop. Stalking their public social media in order to draw unfair or wild assumptions so you can jump on your own social media and say, I always had a bad feeling about them. Look at all this thin evidence that I've taken completely out of context to prove it. The creator Be Better on TikTok, for example, was absolutely dragged last week, unfairly in my opinion, for making a video deconstructing Kamala Harris's campaign marketing strategy. If you're unfamiliar, he's known for his downfall of series of videos that usually targets celebrity brands and how, despite having a wealth of resources to make something good, they often miss the mark or create something cheap or potentially harmful that is deserving of criticism. His mistake in this case was being Canadian, I guess, and talking about political messaging in another country he was only getting served a small portion of, that being the Harris campaign's social media marketing alone. Since then, he scrubbed his LinkedIn, lost hundreds of thousands of followers, and deleted both the original video and his apology. Yes, he even apologized, and still people went for the jugular. What these internet investigators ended up finding was that his father essentially made money through Trump admin trade policy, and that the honey he sells is...
Ever heard a rumor about yourself and actually wanted to hear more? Like, damn, what did I do next?
Oh no! Oh no!
Maybe marked up wholesale honey that he adds some herbs to? People also really didn't like how he gives his credentials at the beginning of every video, suggesting it made him seem arrogant, which is a weird complaint to have considering the amount of misinformation that gets passed around from basement dwellers with zero credentials that we always complain about. People perceived his critique as being tone deaf and maybe a bit misogynistic or bordering on racist. To me, though, you could really only make those connections by selectively cherry-picking certain things he said and examining them out of context from his overall critique. It didn't help that those same people also had less convincing arguments like, he doesn't even go here, which isn't the gotcha they think it is. That'd be like a British person telling an American they're not allowed to have an opinion about Brexit or Boris Johnson because the knowledge you have about it came from that Benedict Cumberbatch movie. You can talk about other countries' politics, you fuckers. It's so stupid. Most of the people calling him out for being potentially problematic seem to be vote blue no matter who liberals whose brains implode when you don't fall in line with any and every Democrat. So I'm pretty skeptical of anything they have to say. We should be questioning politicians, not following them blindly because you like their mascot. I mean, how are you any different than MAGA weirdos? Right? It was just weird to see people who call themselves progressive take such an issue with the video when someone like Hassan Piker understood the underlying point he was trying to make. And
oh man, Hassan Piker just killing it. Killing it. Shout out.
Had to tell his chat to shut up multiple times.
He's cooking. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up!
This is essentially where she is being intentionally vague and ambiguous in the language that she uses and the way that she appears publicly in order to take advantage of the psychological phenomenon of projection. Because if you are extremely vague and generic and say some of the right words without specifically committing to policies or being very clear about what your values are, human beings will simply project onto you what they want to see. Progressives will see her as extremely progressive and forward.
Oh my God! And this only works if your candidate is truly charismatic enough to the in-group. It's already like a failure of a strategy in general, but like it is the same reason why people refuse to recognize that like Trump's policies are actually inherently harmful to them. Okay? Straight up. When he says identity focus, I don't think he's saying like Kamala Harris is using identity politics. I think he's saying the campaign strategy also heightens that. That's the only thing I disagree with him on, by the way. I don't think that Kamala Harris has actually done any kind of like identity politics at all in their forward correspondence, in the way that they present themselves, even in the way of defending against attacks from Donald Trump, which I think is actually pretty effective.
To an extent, I do understand some of their gripes. He didn't take into account a lot of other factors and was kind of viewing it like it was in a vacuum. And he's a marketing guy, not a poli-sci major after all, but I swear to God, people refuse to admit that the whole Kamala HQ brat co-opting was reaching a cringe tipping point. Before I even saw Be Better's video, I even started to feel a little tired of hearing the word weird being carpet bombed on social media for like 2 weeks straight. But this isn't a video about political messaging gaffes. My point is, well, I'll just let LOL Overruled explain.
You know when someone gets in trouble on here for doing something kind of stupid and everyone becomes a fucking cop? I understand that a lot of us feel powerless and we feel like the only way that we can express agency is by being little police officers on the timeline. But like...
Now let's discuss. Now, I've always been a big fan of on-scene TV, and with cop watchers, I feel like there isn't any intent to just film the scene, get the pan shot, get the, you scope down, you focus in on the evidence, you utilize your iPhone or your Samsung or your thing to just get the shots and then get out of there. Don't put I don't give a fuck about your stamp. I don't care. That ain't content. Everybody thinks they're so pissed off these dudes walking to post offices and shit. Like, what the fuck? They walk into post offices, you're all upset. They walk into government buildings. Some of these dudes are stupid as fuck. But why is that any of your business? It's just so weird.
Like, would you ever want to get treated the way we treat random strangers on here, honestly, when they fuck up? This is happening right now to a creator that I literally don't like. I've never liked their content. But even as someone who doesn't like their content, just watching this person get dragged, like... Sometimes it's because someone has a persona where they seem kind of like arrogant or like know-it-all. So I think there's a group catharsis in being like, yeah, we're gonna get this person now. 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna say it's absolutely over the top and fucking ridiculous.
I am 98% sure he's talking about Be Better, but even if he's not, it definitely still applies. Editor Harland here. Wanted to jump in here and give a little update. Because I've been editing the last 2 days, I have not really checked the internet, checked TikTok or Twitter or anything. And apparently this creator, the Be Better guy, has officially now been doxxed. In the time between me writing this and recording it, his home address, his phone number, his real name has all been shared. I assume on TikTok. I didn't see any actual articles of people, writing about this situation, but it seems like it's been spreading on TikTok itself. I saw multiple other creators saying that this has happened and that everybody that has participated is way out of line. This is incredibly unethical and terrible. Showing up to somebody's house because they had a bad take about a political candidate you liked.
Jermaine struggled for years with dental issues before finally finding Nuvia. Listen to what he wanted most after his smile makeover.
This is true. This is true.
It's crazy. It's crazy. So I just think it's what timing, I guess. You know what I mean? Anyway, do not go to their page. Do not find their accounts. Do not look for this information. I highly discourage you from doing that. Obviously, this video is about how bad doing that is and how you should not do that. So please don't do that. Anyway, back to the rest of the video. And this is the kind of internet investigating that is fucking weird and often comes across as a petty attempt to dunk on someone for clout or to appear more smarter. The funny thing about using your platform to drag people in a takedown video is that it has the potential to inadvertently boost a narrative or the prominence of an individual you disagree with. It's like whatever the opposite of the Streisand effect is. It could encourage those who do agree with them to rally to their side, creating an us versus them mentality that devolves into unproductive shit-talking and cyberbullying and non-consensual doxing. or misinformation campaigns spread by a mob of armchair investigators calling for Twitter to do its thing. Before TikTok tone policing stitches, Twitter was used for this purpose, to find personal information of wrongdoers by appealing to the Twitter hive mind, sharing videos of racist Pennsylvanians or a guy punching a dog in order to find and prosecute the perpetrators. The trend has also been used to altruistic means, like trying to locate missing children and finding organ donors, which is depressing in a completely different way when you think about it long enough. Like tossing a coin in a fountain, people tweet the phrase "Twitter do your thing" alongside their desire to star in their own Netflix show, or to find a wife, or request Twitter make them a hamburger because they're hungry. At this point, it's more of a joke than an effective way to manifest results, but even when people don't apply the exact phrase, the intention of having Twitter do its thing is to find information in a sort of decentralized way that can be compiled as evidence to exact some kind of judgment or vengeance. Usually, this comes in the form of getting someone arrested, or fired, or run off the internet entirely. It's often used simply as a means to dox someone without actually saying, you're doxing someone, regardless of the intensity of the perceived crime. You get enough people using anonymity as a shield to rally to a cause, and their behavior can quickly devolve into cruel and sadistic. Internet sleuths just end up recreating the Stanford prison experiment, where 4chan and Reddit detectives keep pushing the boundaries of what is ethical to the point they scare people into moving to another state like they're living in witness protection. Doling out justice via exposing someone online has unintended consequences in that there are always people who take it too far and end up not just doxing the right person, but their entire family as well.
Boom. See, I'm not a fan of it. I don't like it. I think people using your first name was a way to figure out if that's who you were. God, fuck. This is not the stream I wanted to make. You're missing the point. It's flying over your head.
There's no right person. You shouldn't dox. That's not what I'm saying. They think that it's the right. What the fuck did someone's Mima do to deserve getting death threats exactly, besides being biologically related to the racist Karen you're trying to get fired? The collateral damage makes social pariahs out of bystanders and can deprive them of their livelihood by getting them fired over what boils down to a miscommunication or error in reporting. People tend to chalk this up to, wow, another tongue twister. People tend to chalk this up to toxic cancel culture or the woke mob, which is just inaccurate because in the case of Gamergate, a bunch of incels threatened women to the point they had to go completely off-grid out of fear they were going to get murdered in their own homes. It's more complicated than simply being a symptom of cancel culture, because anyone with any sort of world...
Listen, Vop. Listen. I'm not on anyone's team, okay? And I did not defend that team. All these teams, Bandit, you want to bring up teams. It's all teams, right? No, I called it out, said this is not good for a viewer. But then I started to see this dude is a piece of shit. We got to call him out. And everyone that's defended him since, I'm happy for you for coming around. I'm happy that you saw what we all saw early on. I'm happy for you. I can't talk shit. I'm not going to. It's not about you. It's not it's about justice. It's about justice. No, it's just you're driving a narrative that I'm not really focused on. I'm trying to drive a different narrative here about kfarr.
Worldview can participate. Sending death threats is an extreme case of cyber sleuthing, but I don't know that even calling to have someone fired because of something they said online is just either, because there can be a mob mentality even over the most trivial offense. Ideally, we'd be able to turn it into a teachable moment for the person spreading hateful or ignorant rhetoric and give them a chance to reflect. But when enough people are loud enough, the better, more nuanced approach is drowned out. Once it gets back to an employer, the legitimacy of the complaints don't really matter anymore, and the company can determine as they see fit whether your public internet usage aligns with company values or not. It's a double-edged sword where obviously racist and xenophobic Instagram stories are not what a company wants to be associated with, but the power they wield means they can fire you simply because they don't like a representative of the company having a meme account on Instagram. What is this shit, Daryl? They can cook up whatever excuse they want to can your ass, even when you're not being racist on Maine, which is a whole other messy issue unto itself. Every state in the US has some form of at-will employee with the exception of Montana. Fucking way to go, Montana. Which means they have the right to tell you to hit the bricks for pretty much any reason as long as it's not discriminatory in the following ways. Go ahead and skip to this time code if you would rather not hear about suicide and cyberbullying. This kind of vigilante justice has gone far beyond just doxing people, resulting in the deaths of countless young people basically since the advent of the internet. In August 2021, 14-year-old Salvador Rios took his own life after being cyberbullied and doxxed with personal information only a few people knew about that was posted on Instagram. This bullying by way of cyber sleuthing is a line that has become blurred among online investigators who use their internet connection for vicious and depraved reasons. It's so easy to find information online that it's almost common practice for people to always be on the lookout for a smoking gun of some kind. Even if you're sleuthing with good intentions, the ethics of inserting yourself into a stranger's life or an ongoing investigation can result in the destruction of a person's reputation and implode an entire family, like in 2013 when rumors spread online about Sunil Tripathi. Tripathi was a suspect in the Boston Marathon bombing based on speculation by Twitter and Reddit users suggesting Sunil bore a resemblance to one of the suspects. These reports were eventually picked up by actual news outlets and journalists who were spending way too much time on r/find Boston bombers. It was later determined that Sunil had been missing for some time and committed suicide a month prior to the bombings due to his ongoing struggle with depression. The crowdsourced investigation and speculation by a bunch of uninformed and unqualified yokels only added to the chaos and flung his parents into a never-ending nightmare who were just trying to find their missing son. Got kind of heavy there for a second. I blame a lot of this on the popularity of true crime novels and podcasts and Netflix documentaries that have influenced fans of the genre into thinking they're Dick Tracy. Media has absolutely affected how people perceive the process of uncovering truth to the point it has deluded a fanatical minority to carelessly research and gather evidence about any particular case and then share it with the world, sometimes to the detriment of the investigation itself. The repercussions of sticking your inexperienced and untrained nose where it doesn't belong, especially when there are real-life victims involved, can make it harder for actual licensed professionals that negatively affect the efficacy of their work. A lot of the time, these cyber sleuths will attempt to continuously contact people involved, which is just harassment and typically carried out by multiple investigators because they all talk to each other and create Facebook groups and subreddits. Lucky for you, one of my good friends is a licensed investigator who works for defense attorneys on all manner of cases who we'll call Carl. Carl...
Oh, I missed it. Fuck. Yeah, there's the next angle. There's the next angle. All you commies, socialists, I will tell you this. A rising tide lifts all boats. Take all the time. Take all the time you need, because that's probably the best quote I'll ever share. Oh, YouTube rejected your comment? Oh my god, that's so weird. I'm gonna write it again. I'm gonna write it from my phone. Fuck that. Here we go. A rising tide lifts all boats. Oh yeah. Oh. There it Or is it? Oh, there's some fuckery going on here. Yeah, that's also been something else. They want me to get to that. Tell us about that. Tell us about the chicken head. Little weird shit is going on.
Provided me with some insight into what it actually looks like to solve a crime and gather evidence that would be used in any legitimate court proceedings. For starters, continuously hounding witnesses or victims can make them unwilling to participate in an investigation and scare people away who might have valuable knowledge. He's often tasked with interviewing people, and if at any point the interviewee says they are uncomfortable or don't want to participate any longer, he has a responsibility to cease the interview as a licensed private investigator. Partially that's due to ethical concerns, but also partially because California has pretty strict privacy and anti-harassment laws that could result in him losing his license. There are loads of people online who talk about how fucking cool it is to cosplay as a live-by-night private investigator with no education in criminology or law, or maybe more importantly, ethics. Real investigators can't keep trying to slide into victims' DMs or grabbing suspects by the shirt collar and screaming, "Did you do it, huh? Give me the truth!" The biggest takeaway from talking...
Yeah, give me the truth. I just also want to know when Kevin arrested anyone.
I have never broken anyone's arm while cuffing them. Have you wanted to? This is going to sound very terrible, but then I'm going to save it. When I arrest people, or cuffed them rather, I'm very big into pain compliance.
Interesting. What?
What a fucking bitch, bruh. Honestly. And if I had a damn missile, if I had a spare missile, I'd throw it at that bitch, man. I really, really would. And I know that's not very becoming of me, but I'll be dang, bro. If I had like a little bitty... Dude, if somebody was throwing tear gas and I had a gas mask and one extra, I'd put one on and then I just fucking wouldn't tell her about the other one, you feel me? So, that's how I'm feeling right now. Keyed up, dude. If I had 60 wishes, I wouldn't fucking wish for nothing for that lady.
You love me. You really love me.
I got cred, bitches.
I don't give a fuck, man. I'm sick of you always thinking you know what's best for me, dog. You ain't my fucking father. I'm a grown man.
And the award for Best Turd Polishing Turds goes to...
Yeah, so please go and
Talking
watch
with Carl
this.
was
Here's
that investigating
another
the
link.
crime or some wrongdoing is not glamorous. Like,
Make 2025
Oh, yeah.
the year resolutions
Yeah,
become
totally.
reality. Start your degree with WGU.
So why do so
going
many
away,
homes in
folks.
Clark
It's
County need a
all
flooring
going
replacement?
away. It's all
The
gone.
number one reason is not about planning or construction or even dust.
at all. There are no femme fatales coming into your smoky office with a juicy mystery who also then want to seduce you and fuck you, which would also be unethical. It's an extremely tedious job where, and I quote, the first 45 minutes of any investigation is spent Googling. The other hundreds of hours, he's watching security camera footage and reading through things like medical records and reviewing transcripts. Quote, in addition to being tedious, interviewing witnesses and doing field work can be super intriguing, but it's a real skill that investigators learn and train for and hone over a long time. It's like a discipline, not unlike carpentry or, I don't know, being a pilot. Internet sleuths seem to think due diligence is finding someone's LinkedIn and looking at Google Maps, throwing that information out into the digital void, and then patting themselves on the back. Carl said there is never a smoking gun that will break a case wide open, and there is no instant gratification because it's not a fucking movie where hundreds of hours or years of work is summed up in a 2-minute montage. He did also say that while the job can weigh pretty heavy on your heart and soul, it's also extremely fulfilling knowing that all the tedium could literally save someone's life. Cyber sleuths and even the general public, on the other hand, want quick retribution. But the thing about solving something like a terrorist bombing or interstate drug trafficking ring is that it takes a long time to gather evidence and request resources and subpoenas and drive to a part of town you didn't even know existed to interview objectively scary individuals. My dad is a police chief with over 40 years of service who has told me about several cases that have lasted for years before they closed the book on it because he wanted it done right and as ethically as possible. I'm talking about major crimes that involve working with federal agencies to make sure whatever charges are brought actually stick, not, you know, home invasions and shit. Although those still should be done ethically. Those are the ones that take the longest, is what I'm trying to say. It's boring and tedious, and from what both Carl and my dad have told me, very depressing at times. It's not Chuck Norris running around kicking people to death in the street in order to get answers or find ambiguous bad guys. The real heroes are the people spending 200 hours filling out paperwork. Just a little sidebar, considering I think everybody knows what my politics are. I don't want this to be misunderstood as propaganda, because I'll be the first to say ACAB. I just wish there were more cops who took my dad's approach to policing. I didn't choose that that's what he wanted to do with his life. He's one of the good ones. No. For a society that spends so much of its time online and worries about surveillance and privacy, we sure are quick to participate in call-out culture and cyber sleuthing. People very easily convince themselves that their detective work is just and moral, regardless of the ethics or legality, or whose life might be destroyed alongside those who deserve it through their carelessness. Because platforms don't really have a mechanism in place to curb this behavior, we have to police ourselves from policing others. And to be quite frank, if platforms had more robust systems in place to discourage cyber sleuthing, it would probably risk being perceived as censorship and stifling free speech, especially if users are simply sharing publicly available information. Every aspect of virtual investigating is pretty murky, and there is no good solution at the moment because, yes, while calling out racist or misogynistic behavior or unpunished violent crime is good and sometimes, unfortunately, necessary, there will always be those who take it too far and harm innocent bystanders, or get a case thrown out because they interfered in what is a lengthy process. But running someone off the internet because of a bad take, or trying to cancel someone because they're related to Trump supporters, maybe take a step back and reflect before stitching someone on TikTok or tweeting the coordinates of their mother-in-law's whereabouts. You lunatic. That's the video. Thanks so much for sticking around. If you made it this far, that means you're awesome. Special.
Yeah, I love the dude's content. Please go. What's his name? I just found him. But I like it. I like what I'm seeing. Harlan Spinks. Here's a link to his chat, or a link to his channel. Please, go check it out. I sense a lot of middle ground, but I also sense some hilarity ensues. Like, that nailed it about doxing people. Vestige of Peace, VOP. You just completely walked into that one. But that's a good episode. You sacrificed yourself. We all sacrificed ourselves. Yeah, but doxing is bad. And bringing up people's lives and their shit, it's not good. It doesn't benefit anybody. Oh shit. Yeah, one more final tab and we's out. Mirrors, I'm glad you're here. Mirrors, you weirdo. I have awoken the yeah, here we go. kfarr credibility. Oh, there it is. Oh. Auditors are Democrats. The majority are anarcho-capitalist, libertarian Republicans. Boom! Right on cue. Oh, yeah. They're not Democrats, and they're not woke. Try again. Oh yeah, kfarr. Oh, where's that at? Oh shit, gotta start over here. I guess, yeah, see, it's weird. K-Fat talking down to low hanging fruit. K-Fat would played the villain hiding behind his girlfriend's basement. K-Fat Association. Why do you have no credibility? Cause you associated with fucking Wrangler. Oh, here we go. This is where we're gonna end it, folks. Thank you everybody for tuning in. I wanted to do such a better show than this. This is sloppy. Sloppy. But we're gonna keep doing it. kfarr, every time you bring up my dead mom, I'm going to post about you. Every time from here on out. Just keep that in mind. Or should I say, keep that in mind.